So, Uncle Robert, I wanted to ask you about Poppy. So, your father was also a teacher, a public school teacher in New York City. What do you know about like his choice to enter the profession and his experience as a teacher? What do you remember about him teaching? And I wanted to start with Uncle Robert, but obviously I want to hear your thoughts too.
Yeah, well, he came out of the Army and had, at the time, the GI Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had these other jobs that he couldn't stand.
Yeah.
And when I was a youngster, I just remember him being a teacher, but I was young enough to hear these stories, my father and my mom recounting the stories of my dad not wanting to wake up, playing hockey for his job, getting in trouble, having to switch to another job, being very depressed, having to take meds because he was so depressed, he hated his other jobs.
Yeah.
And so my mom and he came up with a plan that they would cut corners and live with my grandmother, my mom's mom, Chetta, and he went back to college as an adult and got his teaching degree, and he loved the career. He loved being around youngsters.
Yeah.
One thing I'll give my father a ton of credit for, I think Alice
I think I know
totally
what
agrees
you're
with
going to
this.
say.
Being around youngsters kept him so incredibly young. He always had this liberal mind, like he was never. All the other parents were, no, it's evil. And he was like, well, let's talk about it. Let's learn about it. Here's some literature. Read this. Let's make sure you really know what you're like. He wasn't just outraged. He wasn't just this Bible Belt crazy person that just dogmatically said no to things. He would listen to you, and he was around youngsters all the time. So he stayed young. He was always like that. He was like that far beyond when he retired. So I think once you live a life like that around youngsters, I think it changes the way you think and the way you are forever.
Robert, and Debbie could vouch for this. On the way, did you hear what I said in the front seat of the car?
No.
I said this.
I'm sorry.
You can ask Chris.